What's up, guys? This is your boy DZD, aka the Drank Kang Purple World Entertainment, and you are live inside the Dungeon Palace Studios yet again. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for that. If you have not done so yet, hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification. That way you can keep up for when I drop these videos. Today I have a very nice video for you. It's going to be a beat breakdown on a Zaytoven type trap beat. For those of you guys that don't know who Zaytoven is, you're probably living under a rock if you listen to trap music. He's one of the hottest producers that's coming out of Atlanta, and he plays the keys like it's nobody's business, hence the name Zaytoven. I was asked on my Dungeon Palace Studios Facebook page by one of my subscribers, what if you can't play those melodic keys just as he does? The way he sweeps up and down the keyboard and he plays those melodic vibes. What if you can't do that? Well, I'm gonna show you how you can get that done using a melodic piano sample and accomplish the same exact type vibe. Now, before you guys get all on me and tell me,
oh, sampling isn't better than playing the keys,
I'll be the first one to tell you, learn the keys if you can. It is a very good tool and it will help you out in your music production a lot. I know the keys myself, but I also use samples to accomplish the things that I accomplish. The reason why is because at the end of the day, when you do this professionally, the only thing that matters is the outcome and making sure that your client is happy. So use whatever means possible. If you can play the keys, by all means play them. If you need to use samples, by all means do it. Samples, make sure that they're royalty free, and also make sure that they're very good samples. That way the vibe carries in your song. But I'm gonna show you how to get this done with one of those type samples. That way you can have the same exact feel in your beats. So without saying too much, let me take you to the screen and show you this beat that I made. Okay, we are live inside the MPC software with the beat loaded up. Very nice beat, melodic piano beat, kind of like that Zaytoven vibe. But I'll show you exactly what I did with it to attain this type of sound. So check it out. And that just loops over and over again. The track is very, very simple. My first track is all of my drums. My second track is the actual piano sample, which is the piano that you hear. The third track is piano chords that surrounds the sample, and then the fourth track is the 808. And that's literally what makes up the entire beat. But I'll show you how I got that nice melodic piano vibe. Let's go here to the sample that I used. This sample sounds like this in its regular context. If you notice, it has that Zaytoven feel. And if you can't, I play keys myself. Obviously not as good as Zaytoven, but I do play the keys myself. I'm gonna show you, if you just are able to find very melodic samples like this, piano samples, you can get it from records. You can search them on YouTube. Some sample packs on the internet that you can buy have some very melodic keys that people have played. You can get samples like this and create those same type of beats without even knowing how to play the keys. So what I did was I tuned this piano sample down -7 semitones, and I'll show you what that sounds like. So I got that melodic vibe. When I tuned it down, it slowed the sample down, obviously, and I kept it exactly like that because now you can follow that trap type of style because the sample isn't playing too fast. It's at a good pace. So the way I did that was I went to the slice feature and I sliced the sample up into 16 pieces. It was a perfect loop, so I just sliced it up into 16 regions. And then I created a program and I went to track 2 and I'll solo the piano sample and show you exactly what I played. Check it out. So I didn't really change too much on the sample, just kind of deviated a bit of the chops. Just kind of deviated a bit of the chops. And I threw an EQ on it. Let me show you what I did here with the EQ. I cut out all of the low end and a little bit of the mid. I found some frequencies that I wanted to take out, and how I did that is I just boosted, you know, and swept around as the sample was playing, and I found one at about 800, little bit in 800, and the second one I found in the middle of 1 to 2K, about 1500. So, and the reason why I cut out all of this low is because I knew I was going to drop a nice tight 808, and I did not want this low end of the piano sample to interfere with that 808. So that's why I cut out all of this low end. And then I knew I was going to drop some chords to match this sample, so I wanted to find some frequencies in here that doesn't conflict with my chords. Speaking of the piano chords, let's go to track 3, and I'll show you the piano chords that I played. I used the VST made from Angelic Vibes, and it's called the Uphoria VST. It's not that old, maybe a few years. It's been out for a few years, but it gives me some perfect piano sounds, man. I love this VST for my piano sounds. I use it a lot amongst other VSTs that I have with piano sounds. So I went with the Faith Rhodes, and I'll show you what that sounds like, what the chords sound like. You know, playing the keys, I have a pretty good ear for samples and how to lay chords around them, you know, just from ear. You know, but you guys that want to find keys of samples, you know, leave me a comment in the video description, and I'll try and get a video out to you guys to where it's going to show you exactly how the quickest way to find the key of a sample, you know, and it's using a very good plugin that I use. I'll show you exactly how to get that done. But just leave me a comment if you guys want a video on that, and I'll get it done for you. And then I went to the track 4 to drop the 808 on the track. I like to do my own processing on them just to make sure I got the vibe that I want. So I may put a little saturation, you know. Here, what I did was I pulled up an EQ, a mono EQ, because I like my 808s in mono, just that way they don't spread all over the beat. So I pulled up a mono EQ, and that puts the 808 in one channel, not 2 channels. It shows 2 channels here, but you'll notice when I play it, only 1 channel will be playing. So it puts that 808 in mono, this EQ here. There's also a stereo version of this EQ that I use as well. But for my 808s, I use the mono version. And then I cut out just a bit of the low end here because I don't want too much of that low rumbly feel. I want a nice tight punchy 808. And then I dipped a little bit here at 200 where the kick drum is gonna set, because I don't want the kick drum in this 808, the punchy sound in this 808 to clash with that kick drum. So that's what I did. And then I just kind of took out a bit of the high end frequencies, that way they don't spread over my melodies. But this is what the 808 sounds like on its own. So once I got the 808 to set nicely in the track, I went to track 1, which is all of my drum sounds. I'll go through them very quickly. It's not a lot of drums, just a few tight drums and then a few percussion sounds. But I have my kick drum here, and then I have a tight snare mixed in with a clap, and then I have another clap with reverb. That's a higher clap. And then I have, of course, my hi-hat. And then I have another hi-hat here. That's a bit tighter. That way I can kind of sprinkle in over the hi-hat just some hits, you know, and kind of give it a nice bouncy vibe. And then I have a few percussion sounds here. That's a triangle sound. I have a tom sound. That's a lower tom sound. And of course my crash. I'll solo just the drums and let you hear what that pattern sounds like. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay the 808 over the drum pattern, and I want you to check out how nice that drum pattern fits with the 808. Check it out. This is just the 808 and the drum pattern playing. Now if I was to export all of these drums out of the software, my 808, all of the drums, and export them out of the MPC software into my DAW for mixing, instantly I already understand that I don't need much work to be done. These sounds are very clean, and just the things that I did with them inside of the software with the EQs, that gave me the tone that I want. And that 808 sets nicely. My kick drum is still present, the 808 is present, nothing is masking anything, and it sounds very, very nice. So I'm going to play that along with the sample. That way you can get an idea of that Zaytoven feel, that piano sample. Just watch how the sample lays fluently over the 808 and the drum pattern. And just let your mind picture how Zaytoven rocks on the keys as I play this. Check it out. That sample is really, really nice. As I said before, just to get his type of vibe, if you don't know how to play the keys as well as he does, then you can go search for those melodic samples. Please do. Put a folder on your desktop, and every time you run across a record or a sample or anything that you hear on the internet, download that and stick it in that folder, because when you decide to make these type of beats, all you do is go in there, grab one of those samples, and then you can chop it up and get that same type of feel. You know, playing the keys, you know, that's always a good route. As I said before, I can play the keys, but this video is just to show you guys how you can get that same exact feel if you don't know how to play those melodic keys the way Zaytoven does. And then now I'm gonna introduce the chords into the beat and let you hear exactly how the whole track sounds. Notice how the chords blend perfectly with the sample. Really simple beat. Throw some 808s on it with a few trap sounds, and all of a sudden you have that exact same type feel of that melodic trap style that Zaytoven makes. Don't sleep on the samples. You know, the piano samples, there are a lot out there. I'll have my sample pack coming shortly. So yeah, feel free to use these tips in your production when you're using your samples. That concludes the video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. All of the links to the VSTs that you saw in this video will be in the video description. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, please hit that thumbs up button and also drop me a comment and let me know that you're rocking with us. I would really appreciate it. Also, make sure that you guys are following my Instagram at the Drank Kang. And for you guys that are on Facebook as well, follow my Facebook page at facebook.com/Dungeon Palace Studios. I post a lot of content on my social media platforms, and trust me, you want to keep up with that. I would love to interact with you guys. This is your boy DZD, aka the Drank Kang, Purple Wall Entertainment, and you are live inside the Dungeon Palace Studios. I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.